welcome to Southern Wreaths. Be sure to watch my video till the end for a sneak peek at my next video, and please subscribe. Today I'm going to be making this witch shoes wreath. This is a larger wreath. I'm using an 18-inch wire wreath form. These are the supplies I'm going to use to make this wreath. I'm going to start by adding pipe cleaners to my wire frame. And I'm going to twist 3 times, lay the pipe cleaner across. Where it ends, I'm going to add my next pipe cleaner. And I like to twist it 3 times just to make sure it's secure and it's not going to untie. I'm going to do this to the inside and the outside. So I'll just lay it along the bar, and where it ends is where I add my next pipe cleaner. And I do like to work in even numbers, so I make sure the inside and the outside have an even number, just because when you alternate ribbons and stuff, it lines up right. I'm going to do this wreath a little different. I actually saw a hardworking mom do this, and I wanted to try it. So I'm laying a 10-inch ribbon on top of a 21-inch ribbon, and I'm going to attach them at the same time. So I just gather them all together, and I have them hanging off my desk, so where there's not going to be a lot of getting stuck, if that makes sense, because you know the mesh gets stuck together. But when I threw it off the side of the desk, it kind of rolled separately, which was nice, and keeps it from getting stuck. I'm just going to attach it to the left of a zip tie, since I'm pulling my mesh from the left this time, and to the left of a pipe cleaner. I'm going to attach it with the zip tie at the crossbar, and then I'll trim away that excess and then push the pipe cleaner back over. And this just makes it where once I go around with the mesh, it all lines up. There's no gaps. I am doing 10-inch poofs on this, and I'm not very good at measuring out poofs on my own that are 10 inches. So I'm going to use my ruler. And I'm going to twist it once because I'm going to add ribbon. I really like the way this turned out. It's a great way to use up a nice mesh on top of a cheaper mesh. So if you had some 21-inch mesh that wasn't metallic, like the plain regular mesh, it's great for a base, and then you can use your more expensive mesh on top, like a full metallic or anything like that. The trick is to make sure the poofs stay poking up. This one kept wanting to tuck in, so I have to constantly keep pushing it up. And I'll do this for the inside and the outside. Alright, I'm going to open all of my ties on the inside. And the closest pipe cleaner on the inside is where I normally add my mesh. But since I had so much mesh, I decided to use a zip tie just to make sure it was secure. And I'm just going to go over that particular pipe cleaner, and then I'll just have my last mesh end in that pipe cleaner, if that makes any sense. I decided on the inside that I wanted to do 12-inch poofs. It just gave it a fuller look on the center. So the outside poofs are 10 inches and the inside will be 12. And see, I was really struggling to get this to stay as a poof. Because you want it to stay curled over like an arch, or your poof doesn't look right. Okay, I had some orange mesh left over, so I decided to do some curls. So I'm just going to cut my mesh, and there was a little piece of it sticking off right there. I just wanted to make it even. I'm going to cut the mesh at 10 inches, so these will be 10-inch curls. Now, at first I considered doing ruffles, so I took the mesh and I ruffled it, but I didn't like how small the ruffle was, since it's 10-inch mesh. And I held it up to it, and I just didn't like the way it looked. So then, after putting it in there, I take it back out and I curl it, then the ruffle. And I'm going to do 1 curl per section. And again, I'm still only twisting once because I still have ribbon to add. Right, I'm going to use this orange spiderweb glittery ribbon to go with my witch ribbon. My witch ribbon. I had debated on adding purple, but every time I held it up to the wreath, I didn't like the way it looked, so I just went with the orange. And I'm just going to use my ruler to measure it. And it's, I believe I needed 18 pieces. I'm not sure, with the 18-inch frame, it's slightly different, so it may have been 16 or still be 14. I can't remember. But I am going to add 1 of each to each section. I'm going to dovetail the ends. I really like that witch shoes ribbon. It was kind of hard to figure out what to use with it because it has the burlap color for the background, but this orange had the jute lines through it, so it matched perfectly. So I'm opening my pipe cleaner to add my ribbon, and now I'm going to twist 3 times and then down with a start on the inside. I'm not sure why I decided to start on the outside. It's the same either way. I just prefer to start on the inside because when I do the outside and I lay my arms over the wreath, I always end up messing up the ribbon on the outside, so I have to go all the way back through and redo it all. So it's easier for me to just do the inside sections first. And I do like to stack my ribbon so it's ready to go for each section. And I'm just going to curl it in half, find the center, and then pinch it together. And I did make sure the shoes were facing the same way as I went around. So once I started getting towards the top, I turned the shoes around, like the shoe ribbon, just to make sure there were no upside down shoes. And I'm going to do that for each section all the way around. So for the bow, I decided to use this ribbon. It reminds me of moccasins because of the way it's sewn on the outside. And it also kind of reminded me of like a witch's clothes, kind of patched together. Oh no, I thought it went well. So I'm just going to make a bow, and this is going to be the base, and then I'm going to put the witch shoes on top of it. I'm doing 5-inch loops. And I'll link here to a video on how I make a bow with my Bodabra, but I'll quickly kind of show you here. And I wanted this bow to be pretty big because my wreath is so much bigger. So I am doing several loops. I believe I do 5 loops per section, or per side. Oh, sorry, 6. I really wanted this to stand out. And then I just kind of move them around. And now I'm just going to add my witch shoes on top of that. So cute. I would say that I'm doing those loops at about 3 inches. Because the ribbon has to be facing a certain way, I'm making this bow by hand so that they're all facing the same way. I'm not twisting, I'm just pulling it around. So this will go to the back, and then the next loop will come to the front, and this just keeps the shoes facing me and not going upside down. See, now it comes forward, and then my next loop will go backwards. And then I can just slide it onto the bow dabra. Now, I didn't know if I had enough for tails yet, so I was just leaving that alone for right now. And I'm going to use a zip tie and a pipe cleaner just because this bow is so big. I like to use zip ties when the bows are really large, just so I make sure that they're nice and tight. And I've also broken pipe cleaners trying to tighten them. They'll just pop right in half. So once I tighten it, I'm going to slide the pipe cleaner through, and then I will kind of fluff the ribbon. And a great way to do this is to hold on to the zip tie stem and the pipe cleaners. It's kind of like a handle. And I like to start at the back and fluff. I put my hand inside and I open my fingers and then kind of pull the ribbon to where I want it. And I usually always start in the back and then make my way forward. And the great thing about wired ribbon is pretty much where you put it is where it's going to stay. So cute. And then once I get it fluffed the way I like it, I'll tighten it. I'll tighten the zip tie really, really tight, and then I'll trim it away. I did have some ribbon left over, and I decided to do 4 tails. So I just cut it in half and then cut it in half again, and I dovetail the ends, and then I'm just going to use the pipe cleaner that's on the back to twist it and add the tails. I thought the bow looked kind of plain. I didn't like how the center looked. So I found this little witch in my stash. I bought it last year or the year before at Dollar Tree in a pack of like 5 or something, 10, I can't remember. But I only had a brown pipe cleaner, so I have to use a Sharpie to color it just to make sure you can't see it. But I only needed 1 pipe cleaner because I put it through the center. It worked well. So I'm just going to wrap the pipe cleaner around the back and position my witch where I want her to be. And then I'll twist it around itself, and then I'll twist it around the orange pipe cleaner that's there. And then I'll just use that orange pipe cleaner to attach the bow to my wreath. I still hadn't attached the sign, but I knew this was kind of the layout I wanted to do. So I just feed the pipe cleaners to the back and twist. And with this sign, I was going to staple it to the actual back of it, but since it was so thin and I had this metal piece, I decided to just slide it through that. And then for the bottom, I just turned the pipe cleaner. Instead of doing it that way, I turned it and I was able to get a staple into it. So I didn't have to worry about poking holes in the sign. But I normally do like to have 2 points to attach a sign to the wreath, because if not, it can flop around. And then again, I'll just feed the pipe cleaners to the back and then wrap them around the wire. I usually wrap around 2 wires. It feels more secure to me when I do that. And then I'll position it where I like it. And then I will go back and pull the ribbon out from behind it. But that's it. That's how I made my extra large witch shoe wreath. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, or you can email me at craftingwithlee@yahoo.com. Thank you so much for watching, and if you learned anything today, or if you like my video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.